Hello everyone and welcome back to the Emperor BTC channel. Today's video is another market update video. We will be covering what has occurred in price action since our last market update video, what trade ideas and bias do I have at the moment, and we will also take a quick look at the Ethereum chart. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So it feels like we have spent a lot of time droning over this higher time frame price action. So today's video, we're really going to home in on this plot of price action. Again, on the 4-hour time frame, we spent a huge amount of time in this range. We got a nice deviation, and since then we have exploded to the upside, leaving behind this nice SNR level, this grey box. So for those of you who may not know, this area was a prior area of resistance on multiple occasions, and the idea being prior resistance, when we revisit it after breaking through it, should act as support upon return. But since breaking up through this resistance, we have began consolidating and forming this mini range. So let's quickly jump down to the 1-hour time frame and take a deeper look. So as you can see with this range, it is very narrow and it's very much between the range low and the mid-range point. But what's really happening here is BTC is at a premium price. So we are above the higher time frame range high, in between that 123k to 117k, and we are consolidating after a leg up. Now, in bull market terms, this means we are allowing altcoins and majors play catch up after quite a heavy led run by BTC. And of course, that is quite evident on the timeline with all the euphoria, including myself. I made some nice tweets this week about, making sure that you commit the time into these market conditions. Because as I say, make hay while the sun shines. Of course, everyone knows and discusses is a cyclical asset and how it goes through busts and booms. Right now, things appear to be booming, so it's worthwhile putting your focus in, especially if you stayed through all of the hardship that has been over the last few years. It's really worth homing your focus in now and reaping the rewards. So in regards to BTC, there's not too much of a major update. My bias is, of course, leaning to the bullish side. It doesn't really make sense to be countered at. Even if you are cautious here, it doesn't make sense to be bearish. So again, following the principle that we will move from one range extreme to another, I do think it will be nice if we get a run up and are able to claim the mid-range point and this kind of lower time frame resistance in order to run to range highs. But on the opposite side, I do think that if we were to go lower here, it would be a net positive, as I think the longs that would enter the market in around here would push price back up quite quickly. I actually think that we may even front run it if we get lower. Then, of course, everyone who was waiting for this level to hop in long will be forced to buy in higher as price moves away, therefore adding to buying pressure and moving price up. So in regards to trade ideas, there is the obvious longs. So if we get down here and take out this low, and of course we have a relative equal low here alongside, let's say this value area high acts as resistance, and I would recommend avoiding this chop if you can. If we do break down here and say get into this area and we start to see a sharp mean reversion back inside, Might be nice to look for some longs in here, back up. If it does become a case where we front run the lower price, but then of course the run that would be really nice is if we get down in here and are able to get in on this key SNR level. The key thing about the BTC chart at the moment is using it in conjunction with some of the major alts that are having runs at the moment. So as I briefly touched upon, BTC is at a price premium and there's been a lot of wealth generated or profits per se. Then profits will look to rotate, and the natural flow, as has always been, BTC has a run, it consolidates, it allows the market to catch up where it starts from ETH into majors, into mid caps, and then into the low caps. So for those of you who are looking to eagerly trade altcoins, I would say don't lose the vision and make sure that you're always charting the BTC chart first. You're always aware where BTC is. You're always aware what BTC is doing, because everything will follow BTC one way or another. As you are seeing right now, alts are playing catch up because BTC had a nice run up. So they are lagging behind and they're now starting to have a run. So make sure you are always keeping an eye on the BTC chart. So now onto ETH. This chart looks fantastic. Of course, we've been watching it for a while. We've seen it get back down into this key SNR level, flip back inside range, smash this range high, and it's just been on a tear up through this higher time frame range, and we are now sitting in this higher time frame resistance zone. But if you drop down to the 4 hour time frame and we just look at the order flow, you can see, and again I'll go back to those who watched the market structure tutorial I did. It's quite simple here. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then what happens here is quite nice. You get a run up, higher high, higher low, higher high. And then what you see is the higher lows start finding support against the previous higher high. So we find support, create a higher high, drop down, create a higher low. This higher low is created on finding support on the previous higher high. So again, what did I say on the BTC chart when we were talking about the SNR level flips? The higher high was created because it found some resistance, some selling pressure. When we broke through it and returned, that area then acted as support. Similar here, created a higher high, smashed up through it, dropped down, found support, again in an area that had prior resistance. And I think that's exactly what will happen now. We have got into higher time frame resistance. We've dropped down and we are looking to find support in this area to continue on this bullish uptrend. ETH has these relative equal highs overhead, so I think it is quite likely we continue on this bullish uptrend and then see what happens in and around this level. This will be a key major level, and it will also depend on what BTC is doing at the time. 4K is a big round number. We have these relative equal highs overhead. Also huge resistance in the run up into it. So this will be an interesting area, but I do think that we will take out this high here and continue the bullish momentum into it. And in a bull market, I'll always take pride in being the voice of reason. If you're making life-changing money, Don't just screenshot your P&L. Try and take some profits along the way. Try and make sure you pay yourself, especially if you're a trader who has worked tirelessly throughout the bear market in learning the craft, putting in the hours, committing. Make sure you reward yourself by actually taking some profits along the way. And again, as I always say, please avoid emotional trading, good or bad. It never does anything good to your trading. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of the channel, Bybit. If you sign up using the link in the description, you can get up to $600 in bonuses. All money raised will go into my campaign to find new interns after my last interns got completely derailed by shitcoins. So to summarize today's video, BTC is in a nice consolidation. Overall bias and sentiment is bullish. Alts are playing catch up. And then levels I'm looking to trade BTC around until price action develops further would be longs, anything in and around here or in and around here. And then, of course, if we continue pushing up here and get above here and flip onto the mid-range points and also flipping this lower time frame resistance level, I think it's nice for a run up into the range highs and maybe a little bit further beyond. So if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment below what your thoughts of the market are, and I'll see you guys in the next one.